So welcome to Exodus 19, a nation married to Yah, with your host Richard Massey. I pray that you guys are having a blessed Sabbath. And I pray also that whatever you and your family are going through, that Yah gives you the strength to go through it. Today we're going to talk about Yirmeyahu 16, or Jeremiah 16. And today we're going to see in this chapter that Yah is expressing his frustration and his feelings about the children of Israel. He's telling Yirmeyahu how he is not to deal or to dwell or to mourn for these people. They're a stiff-necked people. At this point, he's very frustrated with them. He had prophets rise up early in the morning and tell the people what says Yahweh, and everybody laughed and turned their back. And he's to the point to where he's telling Yirmeyahu not to pray for them no more, and not to feel sorry for them anymore. And he's telling them what their future is going to hold. And Yah's explaining all this, the different ways that death is going to come. And this is a very sad chapter. It's a chapter where Elohim is going to destroy some of his people. And I think this is one of the chapters to where people say that in the Old Testament, Yah is very mean. But I don't think that's fair, because there's plenty of times that he tried to explain and tried to turn their hearts back to him. But they just refused to do it. And I'm not going to lie, it reminds me of today's time. It really does. And it's a shame. But it does remind me of today. So let's get started and see what we can learn from Yirmeyahu 16. And let's start at 1. Yirmeyahu 16:1. And the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, do not take a wife or have sons or daughters in this place. 3. For thus says Yahweh concerning the sons and the daughters who are born in this place, and concerning their mothers who bear them, and their fathers who bring them forth in this land. 4. They shall die of deaths from diseases. They shall not be lamented nor be buried, but be like dung on the face of the earth. Wow. Like feces on the face of the earth. They won't be buried. Don't even waste your time. And be consumed by the sword. And today I say by the gun. And by scarcity of food. We experience that, and a lot of people are. And I think it's soon to come as well. I think that we're under judgment. And their corpse shall be meat for the birds of the heavens and for the beasts of the earth. So they're not even going to have a proper burial. It's just going to be like feces on the face of the earth, and then the animals are going to eat their bodies, right? This is really bad for Yahweh to have this type of feeling about you, right? 5. For thus says Yahweh, do not enter the house of mourning, neither go to lament or mourn for them. Like he's saying, don't even cry for them. For I have withdrawn my peace from these people, declares Yahweh. Even the kindness and the compassion that I have, I've taken it all back. So he's telling Yirmeyahu, don't you cry for these people. Don't you have compassion for these people. They've heard my word enough times, and they've laughed me to scorn. So this is where I'm at in this walk right now with these people. 6, for both Both great and small shall die in this land, and they shall not be buried, and no one shall lament for them, or cut themselves, or make themselves bald for them. 7. Neither shall they break bread in mourning for them to comfort them for the dead, nor give them the cup of comfort to drink for their fathers or their mothers. 8. Do not enter the house to feasting to sit with them, to eat and drink. Like, it's almost like in this day and age we would have the repast. It's like, don't even go there and sit and have stories to tell about how good of a person he was or how good of a person she was. Don't even go there. Don't even eat and drink with them. 9. For thus says Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, see, before your eyes and in your days I am making a voice of rejoicing and a voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride to cease in this place. There won't be no laughter. The times are going to become very hard. Few rejoicing will be going on. He says, see, before your eyes and in your days I am making the voice of rejoicing and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride to cease in this place. It won't be like a party here no more. It won't be nothing to laugh about. 10. And it shall be when you declare to this people all these words, and they shall say to you, why has Yahweh pronounced all this great evil against us? And what is our crookedness? I just say, so why is he going to do this stuff to us? What is our sin? What have we done that he's so mad? Why is he bringing all this evil on us? And what is our crookedness? And what is our sin that we have committed against Yahweh, our Elohim? How about everything that I've been telling you? That's your crookedness. But I'll explain it to you again. 11, then you shall say to them, because your fathers have forsaken me, declares Yahweh, and walked after other mighty ones, and served them, and bowed themselves to them, and have forsaken me, and did not guard my Torah. So let's look at that. 11, then you shall say to them, because your fathers have forsaken me, and because your fathers have decided to forsaken me, that's how you grew up, declares Yahweh, and have walked after other mighty ones or other gods to serve them. This one right here, you can consider to be commandments 1 or commandment number 2. And sometimes that mighty one or that other God that you bow down to might not necessarily have to be a statue or something that somebody created, but maybe it's your job. Maybe it's the fact that you love money. Maybe it's the fact that you love women or the opposite sex. Or maybe it's the fact that you love your car or your house or your clothes. And instead of doing for Yahweh, you do for those things. And you bow down to it. Think of something that gets you really mad when somebody gets near it, or when somebody can affect it. Like if there's somebody at your job who is your competition, who can knock you out of the box and mess with your money or your position. That thing that you think about all day more than you think about Yahweh himself, that boyfriend. Sometimes even the death of that person that you lost takes you into depression. And I always say, whatever's going on in my day that's consuming my thoughts, and it's consuming my thoughts to where I can't eat or sleep or function or even think about, I don't want to read my word, because let's just talk about whatever that thing is that's going on in your life. And I'm not minimizing what's going on in your life. But let's just say we think about that particular thing more than we think about the Creator. That can be worshiping a mighty one or another God. Because in your mind, the reason why you're thinking about that particular thing so much is because that's how bad you want it. But Yah could be looking at it like, you're not even thinking about me. And when you talk to me, all you're doing is asking me to get you that. You don't read my word, you don't pray, you don't talk to me. This thing is consuming you day and night. This thing makes you angry to where you're mean to people. But if I was to give it to you, this thing would make you so happy. And you would praise me now because you have that thing. So it's actually that thing that you have or don't have that allows you to now want to not talk to me or talk to me. I should always be first. He says, if you do commandments 1 and 2, you can hang all the other ones on that. Because if you're following commandments 1 and 2, the other commandments are going to be a piece of cake. But that's not how you want to live. Let's read 12 again. And you have done more evil than your fathers. For look, each one walks according to the stubbornness of his own evil heart. He says, without even listening to me. 13, so I shall throw you out of this land into a land that you do not know. Now, this is where I do change the subject and think that the people of Israel is a black culture. Okay, let me explain myself. I think that these people are black or dark complected, right? But I think it, and I'm not just going to say this, I think it basically stops there. I shouldn't say it stops there, but I really don't want this to be about that. And this is the reason why I do think that the people that he's talking to in 13 is black or dark complected. He says, I shall throw you out of this land into a land that you do not know. And I know that there have been a lot of nations that have been in captivity. And I know there's a lot of nations that have been scattered and taken away from where they originate. But those were at a period of a time. But in the black community, as I'm learning in the last 5 years, in the transatlantic slave trade, a lot of blacks have been taken to a lot of different lands that they have not known before. It says, neither you nor your fathers, and you shall serve the mighty ones day and night, where I show you no favor. And as long as in the black community, we can see the different struggles that the black community has, even in government, in housing, in employment, and in a lot of social situations. I'm not saying that white people don't struggle. I'm definitely not. That's why I'm saying, that's why I say I think it stops there. I think that a lot of religions use scriptures like this to create racism. But I don't think that that's, I know that that's not the Bible's intention. Because you could take 13 and you could say, oh, so since you think that these people are black, you saying we better, y'all better. Because that's what I heard Israelites say, that y'all better. white people the devil, and y'all going to serve us in the end. I think that not all things can be true, but some things can be true. And I know that this is a heck of these are statements that I'm making are not fair to not fully explain. But like I said, I don't want to go into that in depth, because what I want to do is read a chapter and talk about what that chapter talks about without going fully crazy on it. But when I think about the struggles, even here in slavery, he says in the latter part of 13, and there you shall serve other mighty ones. That could be other men, day and night. Who you think of slavery, right? Where I show you no favor. They had no favor. They prayed and they prayed and they were under judgment, and they died some horrible, horrible deaths, including old folks and kids. This is why I say I think that 13, that Israelites were black. 14, therefore see the days are coming, declares Yahweh, when it is no longer said, Yahweh lives who brought up the children of Israel from the land of Mizraim. 15, but Yahweh lives who brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north and from all the lands where he had driven them. For I shall bring them back into their land I gave to their fathers. So here is where he starts to have a different tone in his message in 15. 15, but Yahweh lives who brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north and from all the lands where he had driven them. Hades, Jamaica, France, America, right? He says, for I shall bring them back into their land I gave to their fathers. Genesis 12. But the reason why he did that was because of verse 11. The sins of our forefathers, the sins of Yehuda, caused Yahweh to put judgment and afflictions and chastisement on us to cause us to pray and to repent and to humble ourselves. "16, and I am sending for many fishermen, declares Yahweh, and they shall fish them. And after that I shall send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks." He's bringing Israel back, his tone is saying. And he's going to use these particular men, these fishermen, and these hunters to bring them back. 17, for my eyes are on all their ways and have not been hidden from my face, nor has their crookedness been hidden from my eyes. So he seems like he's working out a plan, right, to bring these people back, that he has a different feel, a different intention for them. It seems like the punishment is going to slow down a little bit. But they had to go through that because I said it in Deuteronomy 28. But then I have to bring them back because I promised Abraham. So my word is doing positivity and my word is doing negativity because I said it. And who's going to chastise me for doing it? My ways are just, whether you think they are or not. So to the atheist that's mad at Yah because he didn't answer your prayer in some way, form, or fashion, he didn't have to for a particular reason that might have been happening to somebody in your family, a forefather. That's how I think. I think the people who lived before us, as far as our family's concerned, as far as our culture is concerned, made some bad choices. And I'll say this week in and I'll say it week out, that I think that we're living through the judgment of the bad choices of leadership, whether it's outside the house or inside the house, the country we live in, the ancestry, the choices they made is affecting us and our community and our family. I'm always going to think that now. 19. O Yahweh, my strength and my stronghold and my refuge in the day of distress, the Gentiles. And who's Gentiles? The way it's explained to me is, I can have a brother or a sister and they totally disagree on what I'm saying. Even though by blood they're a Gentile, they're a Israelite, by belief they can be considered a Gentile. And then I can have somebody of another nationality, by blood they're not an Israelite, but by belief they can be a Yehuda. Call me crazy. Shall come to you from the ends of the earth and say, our fathers have inherited only falsehood, futility, and there is no value in them. 20. Would a man make mighty ones for himself, which are not mighty ones? They have eyes, but they cannot see. They have ears, but they cannot hear. They have a mouth, but they cannot talk. They have legs, but they cannot walk. Therefore, see, I am causing them to know, this time I cause them to know my hand and my might, and they shall know that my name is Yahweh. So yeah, I think a little different than most. I don't think that Yahweh or Yahshua is going to answer a lot of prayers until, what's that scripture? My people who are called will humble themselves, turn from their wicked ways. I got to learn that better. I think that I don't care what organization you put together, what police department, what politician you vote for. If you don't turn from your wicked ways and we don't humble ourselves and pray, I don't think Yah's going to hear. And this don't go for everybody, but only Yah decides who he'll listen to, who's trying to walk in his commandment. So this is just a reminder that this podcast is also on Spotify and Instagram. I'm live on YouTube as well. So don't forget to like my page and to share my page where it applies. And don't forget to hit the notification button, please. Like, I know people on YouTube are seeing my videos, but my numbers are really, really bad. Praise Yahweh. In my prayers, I always say, don't let this be something that I'm just deciding to do, but let this be you giving me permission. And if you're leaving my messages dormant for a reason, so be it. That's fine with me. You're the boss. I'm just an ambassador. Right? So let's give Elohim and Yahshua a round of applause. And don't forget to subscribe as well. Have a blessed Sabbath. And a shout out again to Mr. Richard Turner for my background music and helping me get set up with my system here. Shalom. So, and next week we will be reading from 1 Kings 12. Have a good day, guys.